Hello, this is a follow-up video for a video I did previously about traveling with a portable generator. I have done further research on the topic, and it appears that the portable generators out there, if you're going to get a vented cap, the majority of them are 2,500 watts or less, okay, for power output. And in today's RV and motorhome market, we're looking at about 3,000 to 4,000 watts we really want in order to be able to have enough power to run the pieces of equipment that we usually travel with, like microwave ovens, mostly air conditioners, okay, and various other items. With the smaller generators, you have to shut off things in order to run other things. And to eliminate that as a problem, you have to go with a bigger generator. But when you get up around 3,000, 2,900, 3,000 watts of power, you're into a generator class where it's mostly internally vented gas tanks, okay? And that's the big problem, is the internal venting of the gas tank. But I've also discovered that there is a solution for that, okay? Especially when you have RVs that have, propane, gas, and electric services on them. You can get a dual fuel generator, okay, which has more capacity. In other words, you can get them all the way up to probably 5,000 or 6,000 watts. But you have the dual fuel, so you can run them on propane. Propane costs more. Propane is a little bit clean. It's a lot cleaner, okay? And the other thing is, you don't have to put gasoline in tanks of the generator or carburetor, and it will not corrode corrode up your carburetor, or it will not vent inside your vehicle when you're traveling down the road in an SUV or the back of your car in an enclosed space. So the only thing you would have to have at that point is hooking a way to hook it up to your propane service, tanks that are on your RV. And a lot of RVs come with propane connections for like cooktops and grills that you use outside. Okay, so an alternative to running with a generator, portable generator, would be a dual fuel generator. Okay, and like I said, the only downside is it costs more to do it, and but they do run. You can get them to run up to about 10 hours on a tank of fuel easily, running your air conditioner and whatever other features you want to run. And at the end of the day, you don't have to, because some of the generators that are, 3,000, 4,000, have smaller gas tanks, so you'll be refueling the tank more often, like within, 5, 6 hours. And if you wanted to be able to go someplace and sleep overnight, say 10 hours or 8 hours, that would not be good, because you'd have to be getting up in the middle of the night, refueling the generator to keep it going. So the propane option seems to be a really good travel option for over a gas generator, gasoline generator, by using a dual fuel generator, run it on propane, and then you'll be able to not have to worry about the vent, because there won't be any fuel in the unit when it's stored inside the back of your car or your SUV or whatever you're traveling with in an enclosed space, other than like a pickup truck where it doesn't matter, okay? So this was just a follow-up to the vented cap traveling with a portable generator that I did, which I brought to fact that the only way you can do that with gasoline is with a vented cap generator. But the vented cap generators are very few and far between that have vented caps, and the smaller generators are usually the ones that have the vented caps, like the 1,000s, the 2,000s, maybe a 2,500. There's a few that are above 3,000 watts that have a vented cap, but very, very few. There's only like maybe one or two that I know of that have the bigger outputs. And the other thing you want to also, be aware of is the weight. I mean, the weight of these dual fuel generators can be pretty heavy. They can go up to like 100, 120 pounds, all right? And they'll get you like 4,000 watts or 5,000 watts, but you're going to pay the price of having to lug this thing in and out of whatever travel vehicle you have it in. So you have to be very careful as to how much weight you can handle, and basically physically being able to move it from one place to the other. The upside of a heavier generator, okay, is that when you do get it set up and it's running, the likelihood of somebody walking by, picking it up, and walking down the road with it or stealing it are much less when it weighs more, because you can't casually just come up and grab it like a suitcase and run down the road with it. Okay, it's a little bit harder to do. Now I realize there are these wheel options and handles and things of that nature that they have to make it easier to move them around, but the heavier generators would deter theft a little bit better, I think, than the smaller ones. But the smaller ones I know of that are in the 3,000, 4,000 watt range weigh about 50, 60 pounds, which is a really, really good weight for a gasoline generator but the dual fuels, okay, I have yet to find one that is under, I don't know, 70, 80, 90 pounds, something like that. I think I looked at one just recently at Costco's and it was 100 pounds, okay? And the ones at Harbor Freight, I believe, are around 100 pounds too. So the weight is a real issue with the dual fuels because you have additional regulators and things of that nature, but you don't have to carry gasoline tanks around with you, and you do not have to worry about putting them in your vehicle while you're traveling and getting the fumes in your vehicle, because there would be no fume in a propane generator if that's the way you're using it. But if you put gasoline in it at any point in time, you have to thoroughly clean the gas system by draining the carburetor and the fuel tank in order to make sure you don't and leave it open for a while to get rid of make sure all the gasoline is evaporated out of the system so that you don't end up with gasoline fumes in your car. And that's one of the, the big problems with internally vented generators is enclosed spaces like your car or your SUV, where a cap vented generator, you can shut the cap off and there will be no vented fumes into your enclosed spaces. So this is just a little update for an alternative to maybe a portable generator that would not give off any fumes, which would be the dual fuels with a propane option, and using the propane option as opposed to gasoline option. Okay, and this is just a little update, and thank you very much.